Hi, I'm Seneca Wallace of the Seattle Seahawks. Being a quarterback in the National Football League is very important to be physically fit. Parents that have children with CF, it's very important to encourage your kids to go out and exercise. Now we all know exercise is good for everyone, but if you have CF, exercise is essential to your health. On this video, parents of children who have CF will learn why it is never too early to start an exercise program.
Exercise is important with children with CF because it affects many aspects of their lives, including self-esteem, self-confidence, overall general lung health, fitness, which all contribute to a better quality of life and a more sustained period of normal lung function and normal lung health.
Physical activity is so important for kids with CF because it helps so many parts of their disease. It helps them to breathe better. It helps them to have an appetite to eat better. It helps them take the food that they eat and turn that into muscle, which makes them stronger, which we think helps fight off infection, helps build their bones, keeps them flexible. Plus, it ought to be just a whole lot of fun.
Regular aerobic exercise for kids with CF and adults with CF can delay the decline in pulmonary function. And that's key because, you know, we're about to be barraged by this huge, large numbers of new treatments that may reverse the defect or at least keep it in check. And if we have kept our lungs as healthy as possible up until that point, we're going to be in a lot better shape than if we just ignore it and, you know, take a pill when we reach, you know, 20, 25 after we're already down to 60% lung function.
Something for all ages and throughout their lives. It should be part of their regular routine in their care of cystic fibrosis.
I have cystic fibrosis, and I'm 48 now, and I have been exercising vigorously for at least 36 years. And I know that the reason that I do so well now, the reason that I feel so good now, is because I have been doing exercise all of my life. And I know that it's a huge benefit.
In the toddler ages, kids are normally very active, running and jumping and climbing, and we want our kids with CF to be doing all of that. We also want them to make sure they do some things with their arms, so they get their arms up high and take nice deep breaths. A good activity for toddlers at this age is to have them kick a ball. Just roll it to them and have them learn to kick with one leg and the other, and that helps them to strengthen their legs. Strength is just so important for our kids with CF. Blowing bubbles is a great activity for the preschool-aged kid with CF because it teaches them how to control their breathing. These are things they'll need to learn to do later in life. The bubbles that they want to try to blow are as big as they can get them, but mostly just having fun. Blowing pinwheels, again, helps to teach them how to blow long and get breath control, which is very important for kids with CF. A good toy for a preschool-aged child to learn breath control are these little party favors that you can find at any party store. Gives them a long breath and they have the fun of making the music. Another great toy for the preschool-aged child to learn breath control is a kazoo. Easy to find at any toy store. As they use it, they should try to make a long sound to get that breath control. Today we're at the playground to show some of the activities you can do with just your neighborhood playground. There's a lot of great equipment here that kids find really fun and exercises their legs and their arms, their breathing, and we're going to show you some of those things today. What we're going to have Margaret do is work on climbing this little screw here. And this is a great exercise for making her arms strong and keeping her flexible so that she doesn't get tight in her shoulders. All right, great job.
I'm gonna do it again.
Now we have Margaret riding on this great motorcycle toy, and riding back and forth makes her legs strong and her arms strong for holding on, and looks like fun. Okay, now we've got Margaret on the bouncy ball, And this is good for kids with CF because it makes her legs really strong, and she's taking nice deep breaths as she bounces up and down. So what we're going to have Margaret do now is some hanging things. We want to keep it on a low bar because we don't want anybody to fall. But as you see her hanging, she's getting her arms really stretched up high, and they're all loose and flexible. We're going to have Margaret now do some jumping, and jumping is really good for kids with CF because it helps them build strong bones. So she's going to do a nice big jump down into the mulch. Today we're at the playground to show some of the activities you can do with just your neighborhood playground. There's a lot of great equipment here that kids find really fun and exercises their legs and their arms, their breathing, and we're going to show you some of those things today. All right. So as you see, hanging is great for kids of all ages. At this age, she can jump up and reach high, really strengthens the arms, keeps them flexible. It's a great thing for all age kids. The monkey bars is a great activity for kids with CF because it stretches out their arms and builds their arm strength. And again, they're taking nice deep breaths while they're doing this. So now we have Anna on the ball, and this is really good for all ages of kids with CF, as long as they don't mind bouncing. It's good for the leg strength, helps them take nice deep breaths as they bounce up and down through the air. So all you can do with a beach ball is things that are overhead, bouncing up high. That gets them reaching up high, which is really good for kids with CF. That was a great throw. If you have a group of kids, red light, green light is a great game to play because they can run in short bursts. Okay, green light, red light. There's a lot of fun things you can do with a soccer ball with kids with CF. You want to focus on having them run hard, but not long distances. This makes them breathe well and makes their legs nice and strong. Follow the leader is a great game. If you've got a bunch of kids, it's lots of fun, and you get them running with an activity. They've got a place to go. They don't notice that they're strengthening their legs and they're breathing hard, and they're getting great exercise.
Now I'm going to show some exercises for younger kids that work the core. And a lot of times with younger kids, I like to give the exercises cute little names because it helps make it more fun. So this one I've called the egg roll. Taylor's getting into a real tight ball position, hugging her knees with her feet really close to her rear end. She's going to roll back and try to get all the way back up. This exercise is called Banana Superman. So I'm going to have Taylor get into a boat position in yoga, which is basically what I'm calling banana here. And she's going to have her hands above her head. She's going to be in one position, which is really working her abs, and then she's going to roll quickly over into Superman. So banana, here's banana. Now roll over to your left into Superman. Come back, banana. Now roll to your right, Superman. Back to your left, banana. This is Teeter Totter, another great exercise for the torso, especially the back in this exercise. So you use a stability ball, drape yourself over the stability ball, and then you're going to go forward on your hands, lifting your legs up into the air, and then put your feet on the ground and lift your arms up into the air. For younger people, push-ups can be challenging. So to make it easier, we use a stability ball. So the first position is to drape yourself over the stability ball, put your hands on the ground, and walk out so that the ball's under your hips. Now Taylor, do a push-up. Good. This is much easier than a knee push-up. One more time. Okay, good. Now when she gets strong enough to walk out a little further on the ball, walk out a little bit more so the ball's under your knees. Okay, and down and up. A great upper body and core exercise for little kids is the wheelbarrow. Taylor's going to demonstrate it here, and I've got a step here to show how you can make it a little bit harder by changing elevations. And she's just going to take little steps with her arms. And when you come to a step, whoa, Push up, and then come back down. Oh, she did a push-up there. Good. A modification of the lunge exercise for young people is called giant steps. Taylor's going to demonstrate giant steps. Big step all the way down and stop. Come back up to standing. Now go backwards. Giant step backwards. It's a great balance exercise too. Here we're using a foam roller to do some flexibility work for the upper body. Chest and shoulder flexibility is really important in cystic fibrosis, so you avoid that hunched over rounded look. So go ahead and put your arms out to the side, bending your elbows slightly, and let gravity just take over and relax into this position. And you want to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds or longer if you have the time. Another variation is to put one arm along the foam roller down and the other one up. Again, just let your arm hang and switch sides. And then you can do the snow angel where you put both arms down, palms up on the ground, let your arms rest on the ground, and very slowly make a snow angel with your arms, sliding them along the ground until it feels uncomfortable. You're pretty flexible. I can only get to here. That's good. So the movement here is slow and deliberate. You want to spend easily 30 seconds going from this position to. This is a series of exercises that's going to work the entire core. So Lanny's going to start with a hip bridge. Notice her feet are on the ball, her hands are out wide for stability, and she simply lifts her hips up so that she's in a straight line again from the heels to the shoulders, and then lower down slowly. So you can either do this for repetitions, counting up and down, or you can hold it for time. Now, one variation to make this a little harder is to bend your knees and put your feet flat on the top of the ball. Now I'm going to spot her here by holding the ball. Just extend. It's the same exercise, but it's a little harder. And lower down slowly. And up. And down slowly. And if you don't have a spotter, simply widen your feet out so you can stabilize the ball yourself. Good. Up and down. Okay. This exercise is called the plank. It's a great core exercise. So you assume a push-up position, but you're on your elbows instead of your hands. Keep a straight line from your heels to your shoulders. Don't let your butt rise up or lower down. You don't want to get a sway back. And you hold this for time. You may only be able to hold it for 10 seconds at first, but build up to a minute or two. The next exercise is the mountain climber. Again, a good core exercise. So you're going to bring one knee up to the same side elbow, alternating sides, keeping a straight line from your heels to your shoulders. And now, Lenny, switch it so you bring the knee toward the opposite elbow. This focuses on the obliques a little bit more. This is the windshield wiper. In the windshield wiper, you lie on your back and you extend your legs into the air, keeping them straight and together. You lower first to one side and then the other, keeping your shoulders on the ground, looking straight up in the air, remembering to breathe. This is a great exercise for the abdominals, particularly the obliques, which are the side muscles. This is the bear walk. It's a great upper body exercise and a core exercise. Basically, you're walking along the ground with just your arms, and it makes it harder if you're dragging weights along with you. So get some hexagonal shaped dumbbells, grab them in a push-up position, walking forward, keeping a straight line from your shoulders to your heels, and then walking backwards. And then to work even harder, going side to side, you work your abdominals a little bit more, going to the right and then to the left. So you're dragging yourself around by your upper body. Everything is easier when you have strong legs, and the squat is a great exercise for the lower body. So this is a variation of the squat using a stability ball against a wall. You basically lower down, leaning against the ball, so that your knees are directly over your toes. You're in the position that you would be in if you were sitting in a chair, but there's no chair. And you can either do this for repetitions or you can hold it for time for a greater endurance workout. Another great exercise for the lower body is the reverse lunge. And I'm adding the variation of a prisoner reverse lunge because that works the upper back as well. You're pulling your elbows back, hands are together in the back. And as you pull your elbows back, you're working the upper muscles of the back, which is great for posture. Almost touches the ground in the back. Not all the way though. And the front thigh is parallel to the ground in the final position. Good. This exercise is the push-up. A push-up is a very good upper body exercise as well. It works the chest, shoulders, and arms extremely well as the core again. So go ahead, Lanny. Not everyone can start off with a military push-up, so we're going to start with a modified push-up, which is on the knees, hands a little bit further apart, a little wider than shoulder distance apart, and you're going to lower down till your chest comes about a fist distance to the floor and push back up. The important thing to remember here is to keep a straight line between your knees and shoulders, so you want to make sure you don't have your rear end sticking up in the air as you go down. Widen out your hands a little bit further. That's kind of a, there you go, one more time. Good. And one thing you want to do, which Lanny's demonstrating perfectly, is to keep your eyes fixed on the floor in front of you. Don't look down towards your belly button when you do this. This is the full version of the push-up. So notice a straight line again from the toes to the shoulders, down to within a fist distance to the floor. And now pick up one leg just to make it a little harder. And up. Now with a small adjustment, this is a variation called the tricep push-up. Put your hands in the position Lanny's demonstrating here with your hands in a diamond shape, right directly beneath your chest. Go ahead, lower down and up. Have your elbows going backwards and next to your body. If you can do that, good, and up. Breathing is the same. You exhale on the way up and inhale on the way down. The exercise we want to demonstrate now is the pull-up. The pull-up is an extremely good upper body exercise. It uses the back, the arms, the core, and it's good for people with CF because it helps with posture to have a strong upper body, and it helps with breathing with an open chest. So Lanny's going to demonstrate a modified version of the pull-up. If you can find a horizontal bar somewhere in a park, you can hang from it as she's doing here with an overhand grip. Notice that her body is completely tight. She's a straight line from her shoulders to her heels. And go ahead, Lanny, and do a pull-up. Chest towards the bar and lower down slowly. So pretty much anybody can do this variation. This is the modification that's the easiest. So what I'm using here is a stability ball to elevate her feet. You don't need to use a ball. You could find a chair, anything that gets your feet off the ground. So go ahead, Lanny, and put your feet on the ball. I'm spotting it for her, but to make it a little bit harder, I could let go and she'd have to stabilize the ball with her own muscles. Now notice again, she's a straight line from her heels to her shoulders, and go ahead and pull up. And that is a little bit harder, correct? When you build up enough strength, you can move to the full-fledged vertical pull-up. So go ahead, pulling up. Notice her overhand grip. To switch it up, you can switch over to an underhand grip. A good way to make your strength training exercise session more interesting and also to incorporate some aerobic work into it is to do interval work. And with interval work, what you do is a strength training move, such as a push-up or a pull-up, do a set of those, immediately move to an aerobic modality, such as the mini tramp here, or a jump rope, or jog up and down the block for a minute or two, and then go back and do another strength training workout. And you go back and forth, back and forth. You can shorten your overall workout doing this because it can be pretty intense for 20 minutes or so, and that's all you need to do.
There's pretty good evidence. It's not, in many things we read as doctors, that if you do exercise, the rate at which your lung function declines with cystic fibrosis is reduced, so it keeps your health longer. So that's the important part of this. It's all part of the preventative health care, which many of us aren't good at, but we ask our CF patients to really focus on preventative health care, and exercise is a part of that.
Now thank you for watching this video. Now I want to encourage you to go out and exercise, and most importantly, have fun while doing it.
Bye.